Right, back again. We were just talking about we're just talking about the Facebook videos. Yeah, we're talking about online advertising and marketing for businesses. And so marketing guru Gary Vaynerchuk recommends minimum 86 pieces of media content per day that the organizations should post. Some people think that's overkill, but let people choose what it is that they want to see. Yeah. I mean, nobody says to Coca-Cola, "Hey guys, that's too much marketing." Like Coca-Cola actually want to put marketing on the moon. I read that somewhere. It's like they want to have an advertisement on the moon. Yeah, if they can get it there. And so nobody says to those companies. Nobody says to Nike, "Hey, too much marketing."
Well, nobody thinks it's Christmas till they've seen the Coca-Cola lorry, do they?
Oh, yeah. Coca-Cola create Santa Claus? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was an advertising marketing campaign. There's a man over there, and he's providing excellent content, but he's busy working on his own thing. So should give him a mic.
Should do, eh?
Yeah. The other thing that works with the sort of podcasting element is bringing in somebody from outside the situation. Looking on the business and being in the business. Somebody who's outside of it can ask the stupid questions. I mean, and it's okay.
Yeah, you find you do lots of. Get what you're saying.
Yeah. So, because it becomes routine, habit, almost mundane when you do exactly the same things every day, and you don't see it with the fresh set of eyes that other people see when they come into a business. Like the worst thing for me, I walk into a business that I'm working with, and they haven't changed anything in the office for 5 to 10 years. They got the same furniture in the same place, the same chairs, the same pictures on the wall. I'm just like, forget it, because you've got to shake things up.
Yeah,
I think for people,
keep things moving and fresh.
Yeah. Keep the brain working, because we do sort of go to sleep, like with houses and homes, right? I think that people need to shake things up with getting new furniture every couple of years, because there's nothing worse than walking into a place and somebody hasn't hoovered under the welcome to the real world. Somebody hasn't hoovered under the couch, right?
Yeah.
For 10 years, and they haven't moved it, right, or whatever. And I have this theory about that, right? You know how things are moving to like things not being owned a lot of the time, but being rented in some ways. Yeah. It's like with the people do leasing, like with cars and stuff and things.
Yeah.
I had this business idea. And of course, being one of my, I get 1,000 business ideas a day, and I don't follow any of them. But at least one of them at one point might actually be good at some point, as long as I keep coming up with them. One of them was leasing furniture to people.
There are people that do that now, eh?
If you can think of it, somebody's already done it. Right?
Yeah.
So leasing furniture, and the idea being the same way with leasing a car. Like after, you don't have to worry about the repairs and all that stuff. And after 3 years, they give you a new car, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So it would be like you lease the furniture for 3 to 5 years. And after 3 to 5 years, somebody comes to you and says, right, we're going to remove all your old furniture, and you just pick from this catalog of what you want new, and we'll bring it to you. And they refresh completely.
Yep.
So
that works.
It works.
Yeah.
Does that exist already? Does people somewhere do that?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, anything you want to lease. You can lease clothes now.
Well, lease, like, I'm going out for the night, I want to lease these clothes for the evening.
Well, you think about it, you can hire a kilt.
Oh, it makes sense, yeah.
And I was reading online not that long ago, you can lease a pair of socks, for goodness sake.
A pair of socks?
You can lease a pair of socks.
I don't understand if someone's going to notice something, right? But leasing a shirt or a dress, I stretches to leasing underwear.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but people actually do it. And think about it from the person that's doing its point of view. They don't have to wash it. They don't have to dry it. They don't have to iron it. There's a value to that.
Well, you're making time. They don't have to go shopping for the stuff. They don't. Yeah. Okay. So you're creating space for them.
Yeah.
Giving
freeing up their time.
Freeing up their time. Yeah. Anything that anything that frees up a person's time generally has some kind of value to
Yeah.
it. So, I should have, like a lazy, I should have searched online to see if that thing exists. But I think with furniture, because, you go to these houses of older people and naturally they've had the same furniture for 20, 30 years. And,
Yep.
and then someone's got to deal with that. Someone's got to deal with taking out the old furniture, and nobody wants the old furniture, so it's got to be taken and dumped. And
Yep.
and you could, if you had the leasing of the furniture, you could plan into that the recycling of the materials as well, so that everything gets recycled and it's part of a process and nothing goes to waste. And
So what you're saying is you end up eventually leasing second-hand furniture as well.
I guess you could.
Yeah, because you
there'd be a
take an
business
old
for
sofa
that,
back that's a bit worn and you refurbish it and you put it back out there as new furniture, and people are paying the same money for leasing the furniture that's been refurbished as they were for leasing the furniture in the first place.
And it's a crazy world of endless possibility.
Yeah, you think about
Yeah.
it, someone can do it.
Someone's done it. I mean, that's the theory, right? If you can imagine it in your wildest dream, there'll be somebody out there who's probably already created. And if they haven't, you better go and do it really quickly.
Time travel?
Especially with
Time travel?
Yeah.
See, you don't know if anyone's done time travel because
You,
did it work?
you don't want to time travel. That'll screw you up something major. I mean, imagine going. Oh, sorry, we're off topic here on the estate agents and stuff. But here we go. Imagine going into the future and then knowing what's going to happen. That would mess me up. Something chronic.
You wouldn't want to get up the day you die, would you?
But would that change anything?
Well, in theory, not.
Well, no, I wouldn't want to know that this failed or that failed. Right? I'd want to learn from the experience, because I'd be avoiding experiences that would be learning experiences then.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because you learn most from your own mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, at least in theory, you should.
Yeah. Well, it's also good if you can learn from other people's. Right? Read their biographies. Right?
Yeah.
Or autobiographies.
Yeah.
Learn from their mistakes. And talking about reading, there was a book that, because we just did the interview, we did the Maiden Murray interview. It'll be coming out in about a week, and it's getting light. If you noticed on the camera, it's getting light dark for some reason.
That's that dodgy phone that you predicted that everyone should go and buy.
Yes, I'll take that back. No, don't go out and buy the P30 because the lights go. No, we don't
Even
have.
if they have got expensive lawyers.
We don't. It's because I forgot we're in Scotland. It's always dark in winter. We've had the 6 minutes of sunlight today. That's it.
That'll
That's
be
it.
the one.
God, books. Because so in the interview you recommended a cybernetics book. So what's the title?
It's called Psycho-Cybernetics by a chap called Maxwell Maltz.
Okay.
And it's all about reprogramming the way that you think.
Mm.
Because the theory is that if you get up this morning thinking that today's going to be a bad day, you can bet your bottom dollar today is going to be a bad day.
Mindset.
Yeah, it is. It's
Mindset.
all about mindset.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
winners win, right? I mean, boxing is the ultimate analogy for that. Because if you go into the boxing ring thinking I'm not going to win this, you're going to get your head hammered, right?
Yeah, you get
Yes.
your head kicked in, yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
because
much.
you'll be like, oh, I'm not feeling it today. You can't give sort of less than 100% because you'll get demolished there, especially if it's more than boxing, like if it's MMA or something.
Yeah.
You'll get someone's knee through your face, and that'll be really uncomfortable. And it'll happen repeatedly, I imagine, until some referee sort of steps in and calls the medics over to
Stops you getting killed. Yeah, pretty much.
That's what happens, right? Okay, he's gonna die. So just leave it. His head is not a punching bag. So just chill out.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there we go. So mindset matters, and I think that if you don't think you're going to sell the property, you're not going to sell the property. If you don't think you're going to find the right kind of house, you don't start acting.
Exactly. You won't
Towards
ask the
it.
right questions if you don't
Yeah.
think it's the right one.
Yeah.
In the book, they take a group of basketball players and they get them to all throw a number of baskets, and they measure their performance, how many baskets they scored and how many they failed. Then they take half the group and they get them to spend the following day practicing putting the ball in the basket, and they get the second half of the group to go into a room with chilled music and imagine throwing the ball into the basket.
Right.
And the following day, they pulled everybody back into the same room, and they got everybody to throw the ball into the basket and measured them. And both groups actually improved the number of times they managed to score a basket, regardless of whether they actually did the practice or mentally imaged the practice.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the conversation came in, because I believe that if you're just about to be faced with a daunting task and you're worried about how you're going to perform, you can mentally image yourself doing that task, performing that task, giving that speech, or being in that situation, so that when you actually are in that situation, you're more comfortable with it already because you've been there, even if it's only in your mind.
Absolutely.
And Psycho-Cybernetics is a book that I've owned for about 20, 25 years, and I've never got to the end of the book because I always get halfway through and think, this is heavy, I've missed something, and I go back to the beginning, and I do every time find something I've missed.
Yeah, well, that's same's not just true with books; it's also true with podcasts and interviews with people. You know, if you enjoy an interview with somebody, it's really good to go back and listen to the interview again, because you never get anything like with just one listen, like a music album, right? You can listen to a music album like for 3 months or 5 years or whatever, and still find something new.
Yeah, what was your favourite track isn't your favourite track 6 months later, is it?
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
there's another tune there now that's your favourite, because do you know what? That one's growing on me.
Crazy, endless human creativity. Yeah, and it's the same with again, back to podcasting conversations with people. Take it with offices, right? So you go to office and you sit down with maybe the same people every day or every other day, but the conversations are slightly different. You never have exactly the same conversation with people, and so that's a sign that people are doing things, that things are moving, that the problems are being solved. It's all good.
Yeah, unless they're boring, of course.
No, we don't do that though around here. No, we don't. Boring in this in this country. No, there's always something going on. Business, look, you can't have. Can you have boring business? There's always something got to be going on, right?
Yeah.
You got to be.
It's perception.
Mindset.
It is. It's perception.
That person is sorry. That person is not boring to them.
No.
Right?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, mindset.
And today's only boring because I haven't been creative enough to stimulate myself. Mentally. Before you go. Oh dear.
No, I was just visualizing it in my mind, as you said earlier, right? You
didn't want to do that.
You've got to visualize it in your your own head. No, I had to stop it. I'll be serious. Right. I had to childish humor. Oh dear. Right. I had a singing tutor who said the same thing to me years ago. She's like, you got to imagine yourself being on stage. You got to imagine yourself singing the song and hitting all the right notes. And I've heard it from sports people as well, right? They imagine standing on their podium or holding the trophy, and they imagine themselves being first.
Yeah,
and then they make it real. I think that before you can run an estate agency, you have to imagine that you have the ability to do it to some extent.
Before you do anything, you have to be able to believe you can do it. I mean, a child gets up off the ground and starts to walk. Why? Because sees everybody else walking and thinks, I can do that.
Oh, yeah.
I can do that.
And then the whole perception changes. It's like Roger Bannister forming a mile, right? Mm-hmm. So like everyone thought that's impossible. You can't do it. And then he did it. And then within a week, other people were doing it. And now school kids can do it.
And now they're chasing the under 2 hour marathon.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Didn't they do it? Did they get it? Didn't they get it?
They're close to it.
Something
They're
like
about
that.
3 minutes away, I think.
It's bizarre what people do with their free time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some people are chasing clients, and some people are just trying to run 26 miles in 3 minutes faster. I'd be happy just to run 26.
26.2 miles.
Because that point 2 is the killer.
That
right?
point 2 is the
difference.
crux. That is the crux. You miss the point 2, you haven't run a marathon.
I haven't run a marathon at all, actually. And there's probably not much chance that I'm going to.
I've run 7.
Are you serious?
Deadly serious. I've run 7 marathons.
7 marathons?
Yeah. Actually, once, going back about 5 or 6 years ago, I did disastrously at the Edinburgh Marathon because I hadn't really trained. And I was so annoyed with myself that I wanted to pick another marathon and couldn't choose between the Moray Marathon or the Loch Ness Marathon. So I entered both, and they were 2 weeks apart. And everybody in the running club told me, you'll never manage it. So at the Moray Marathon, which came first, I knocked 20 minutes off my personal best.
Wow.
And 2 weeks later at Loch Ness, I ran the same time. Despite running from mile 10 with cramp all the way through.
Isn't it amazing what people can do when they challenge themselves?
Yeah. When other people told me I couldn't do it, I knew that failure at that point wasn't an option.
No, because they'd all be like pointing their finger at you and laughing.
Yeah, we told you couldn't do it.
Yeah, you didn't listen, huh?
No. And every minute that I ran that race with cramp, all I could hear was people telling me I can't do it. And I'm like, no, I'm going to show you I can do it. And I did it.
The challenge.
Yeah, of course it is.
The challenge. That's quite incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And that mindset, do you think like how you focused within your mind helped you achieve that?
I don't think that someone that can run a marathon, and I'm not a fast runner, by the way. I mean, my personal best is 5 hours and 20 minutes. And I think that if someone can put their body through that amount of torture and stay mentally strong through it, then you can achieve anything you want to achieve. It's why I go running, because it completely reboots my brain. I come away from it feeling really fresh. I remember the first time I did Loch Ness Marathon, and I went to work the next day, and I was working in the motor trade, and everyone's like, why did you come to work today? And I'm like, because I've got 3 cars to hand over. Yeah. And the workshop managers stood and went, you'll be lucky. The first one's got a problem with the radio. The second one hasn't even been through the valet bay yet, and I can't find anybody to service the third one. And I went, well, the one that's got a dodgy radio is a car up the top that I just took in 2 days ago that's got the same radio, so you can swap them out. I've already spoken to the valet, and that's already sorted. And if you give me 2 minutes, I'll find you a mechanic that will service a car for me. And I got all 3 cars out on time. And the service manager came back to me and said, I wish everybody was as sharp as that. And my mind was so sharp that day. Didn't matter what anybody threw at me. I swear to God, it was so easy to solve it.
That's quite incredible. Yeah, once you've solved the more complex problem, everything else seems relatively simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had 2 businesses that I ran out in Slovakia. One was like a music management production organization, and that was for fun, to keep myself out of trouble and get out and meet people on the side. And the other one was running the school. Yeah. I can tell you that running the school was a piece of cake compared to running the music organization, because in the music organization you were coordinating bands out on tour, traveling around, and crazy shit would happen. Like I lost a band on a tour once. On a tour with a group, I just lost the band between 2 concerts. I lost the band. I still to this day have no idea what happened to them. They left. They finished their concert at one venue, and next day we had to get in the van and get to the next venue, and there was no band the next day. They were not there, and they never turned up, and still to this day never saw them again. And that doesn't happen when you've got like a physically based office, right? That kind of you can once you sort of get round solving those. Oh my God, there's 10 minutes to the concert. None of the bands have turned up, or there's no sound man, or people are starting to get angry and want their money back from tickets and stuff and things. You turn up to work next day and you're like, oh God, I'm so happy to be at work. All right, that I don't have to deal with all these crazy people. And of course it was music, so everyone was drunk most of the time.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah. The musicians would get trashed, and then the audience would get trashed, or sometimes the other way around. Just insanity, basically. And rock, right? It wasn't sort of like people trying to be trendy and hip hop and be all fit and stuff. It was, and
There's an image to keep up, isn't there?
Oh God, just bottle of whatever and stumbling around the stage with guitars and microphone. Oh God, my goodness, I'm so happy I'm not. Look, coming to the office and dealing with sane people just seems like such a pleasure, right? Or semi-sane people.
You're thinking maybe it was a good idea you lost that rock band.
I just sort of take it as par for the course, right? 1 down, 5 to go.
Excellent.
We're okay. No idea.
There's been a change to the star billing tonight.
Yeah. So if anyone knows where they are, point them in the right direction.
That'll be the one.
Oh well, whatever. Right. Whatever. I've been 30 minutes before. We'll finish this in a minute or two. I've been 30 minutes before a concert and no bands, and I don't mean no bands like waiting for the bands to turn up to play. I mean no bands, right? I mean like I didn't even have people that were on their way or coming or wanted to play.
Can
and it
you
was
play the guitar?
Sorry, for me, I've done that as well, and I'm not, getting on stage and playing 7 songs when you don't have any is really bizarre, right? And then people going, "That was really good." What?
How did you get round it?
I don't. It's you know what mindset?
Yeah.
You just step up into the problem, and you're like, "We can do this." I'm going to play an A and an F and a G, and I'll make some noise in the middle, and, the chorus will be faster, and I'll just scream. That's like every second grunge song or something, right? So it worked. There you go.
Or AC/DC.
It's all the same song, but it's a good song.
Wow.
There we go. Anyway, yeah. So the business life seems it's sort of smooth and tranquil compared to some other stuff sometimes. So it's good to have a hobby that makes the other things seem okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the fitness and stuff. It's all cool. So that was our little ramble about mindset. Mindset's important. Not just how you think about what it is that you want to achieve, but how you run your business, how you go into work every day, how you deal with the problems that you have to face there. Hey, Christmas is coming, right? There's going to be all those family gatherings that people have to go to. Some of them they want to, some of them they don't want to, but you got to approach it with the smile on your face and, get on with it, I suppose, and enjoy it. And so cool. Thank you.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you for your time and your input and your energy. And we'll slam this, because it's going out live, we'll slam this up onto other pages later.
Excellent.
It'll be done. Right, let me just... my arm's not long enough, so I got to walk over here. You got any scissors? I can't click the finish button.